Hello. Welcome to this class. That today we'll be solving a word problem in algebra. And the question is, Ned is currently as old as his three sons, Rob, Bran, and Rickon combined. And some of you might already know where I got my reference from. Don't mind me, I'm a GOT fan. What can I do? 10 years ago, it was 3 times as old as Rob, his first son. You know Rob is his first son, yes? 5 times as old as Bran. Bran is Sia. And the youngest son, which is obviously Rickon, is 14 years younger than his eldest brother. How old is Ned, the father? And this is our task. Our task is to find out how old Ned is right now. It is algebra, and when we talk algebra, we're talking variables and constants. So let's represent Ned with N. Ned with N. We represent Rob with R. We represent Brandon with B. And Rickon. Yeah, I know Rickon is also R, but let's represent Rickon with K. Can we do that? Yes, let's do K. So we'll not be confused. All right. So let's interpret question. Now, in question interpretation usually is the AG. Okay? When you miss question interpretation, you actually do miss the entire question. So interpreting the question is as important as solving the question. So let's do question interpretation now. So we have Ned. So the question says Ned is currently as old as his three sons. So Ned is N is equal to R plus B plus K. Let's call this equation star. Very important. We're coming back to this equation. 10 years ago means his current age N minus 10, right, is equal to, it was 3 times as old as his first son, Rob. So it was 3 times as old as Rob. Rob minus 10 too, remember? So R minus 10 too for Rob. And 5 times as old as Bran, the second son. So we also have N minus 10 is equal to 5 into B minus 10. Okay? And so finally, we also have that the youngest son, which is Rickon, K, 14 years younger than his eldest brother. So K, Rickon, is currently R minus 14. Okay, so we can call all of these equation 1, equation 2, and equation 3. Now, it's very important you represent your stuff, your equations this way. It is very important to represent your equations for interpretation. It's important. Okay, so now let's do this. From equation 1, N minus 10 is equal to 3 into R minus 10. That's Ned 10 years ago was 3 times Rob's age. So we can say, let's make N the subject of the formula. Okay, we make N the subject of the formula. We say N minus 10 is equal to 3R minus 30. How do we do that? All we did was we opened the brackets. So 3, we multiply R. 3, we also multiply negative 10. So we have 3R minus 30. So what do? We say now N is equal to 3R minus 30. Since we are trying to isolate N, we're going to bring minus 10 to the other side. We're going to have plus 10. All right, once it crosses the equal to sign, the sign must change. It's like polarity. So once it crosses the equal to sign, we change polarity. Okay, so now we have N is equal to 3R minus 30 plus 10. That's like saying you owe me $30 and you've come to pay $10 out of the whole lot. So you still owe me $20, yes? So that will be 3R minus 20. And that's from equation 1. We call this equation, let's call it equation I. Let's use the Roman numerals now. Equation I. And now from equation 2, Ned, 10 years ago, was 5 times older than Bran 10 years ago. Okay? So we do the same thing. N minus 10 is equal to 5b minus 50. N is equal to 5b minus 40. This is equation II. From equation I and equation II, N is equal to 3r minus 20. N is also equal to 5b minus 40, which means we can say, therefore, N is equal to N, which means you can say something like this: 3r minus 20 is equal to 5b minus 40. So all we're going to do here is we're going to isolate all the variables, and we're going to isolate all the constants. So let's bring all the variables to the left hand side and bring all the constants to the right hand side. So we're going to have 3r minus 5b, right? How did we get that? We brought 5b plus 5b to this side, right? Is equal to minus 20. We brought minus 20 to this side, so that we now have minus 40 plus 20. So in the end, we have this equation. Let's just write it here. 3r minus 5b is equal to negative 20, right? Let's call this equation star. Okay? We call that equation star. Now, what do we do next? We have an equation that now relates Rob's age with Brandon's age. Okay? So what we will do, our aim now is to try and look for another equation that will relate the two of them. From equation 3, we can see that K is equal to R minus 14. That's Rob minus 14. So let's input equation 3 into the equation star. N is equal to R plus B plus K. We also have from equation 3 earlier that Rickon is Rob minus 14. So Rob is currently 14 years older than Rickon, right? So let's substitute for K in equation star. This was our equation 3. This was our equation star. Okay, remember that? So let's put K is equal to R minus 14 in the equation star. So now we have N is equal to R plus B plus R minus 14. Okay, we're going to open the brackets. N is equal to R plus B plus R minus 14. Plus, we open the bracket. We use plus 1 to open the bracket, so it doesn't have any effect. Evidently, this will be N is equal to R plus R, will be 2R plus B minus 14. But we have to recall that earlier, we found an equation for N, which was N is equal to 3R minus 20. Remember that? So we also have to substitute this here for N. So we have 3R minus 20 is equal to 2R plus B minus 14. Okay, so we have substituted for A here. Now we solve and bring all the variables to the left hand side and bring all the constants to the right hand side. So we have 3R minus 2R minus B. All of these have come here, so they've changed their signs, is equal to minus 14. Minus 20 will become plus 20, and this other side plus 20. So this will give us 3R minus 2R. It's like saying 3 oranges minus 2 oranges. You have 1 orange left, so we have 1 orange, 1R minus B. R minus B is equal to negative 14 plus 20 That's like saying you owe a debt of $14 or £14 or whatever, and now you have made £20. After you pay off your debt, how much do you have left? You have £6 or $6. What's your view? We have another equation. Let's call this equation star, star, star. We had an equation earlier that was 3r minus 5b is equal to negative 20. Now we have r minus b is equal to 6. Now we can solve these two equations simultaneously. 3r minus 5b is equal to negative 20. R minus b is equal to 6. Let's make r solve a formula here. R is equal to 6 plus b. Let's substitute r is equal to 6 plus b here in the first equation. We have 3 into 6 plus b minus 5b is equal to negative 20. So you solve one of these. 3, we open the bracket. 3 times 6 is equal to 18. 3 times plus b, that's plus 3b minus 5b is equal to negative 20. Right. So 18 plus 3b minus 5b is minus 2b is equal to minus 20. Now, minus 2b will be equal to minus 20. We're going to bring this all the way here. Plus 18 is plus 18 here, so negative 18 there, minus 18. So minus 2b is equal to minus 20 minus 18, negative 38. So isolate b, we have to divide both sides by negative 2. Negative 2. So negative 2 will cancel negative 2. And okay, negative will cancel negative. We know that b is equal to 30 divided by 2 is 19. All right. So once we have that, remember this equation. To remember this equation, we already know that Rob is equal to 6 plus Brandon's age. R is equal to 6 plus b. So let's just do that here. R is equal to 6 plus b. So we can have R is now equal to 6 plus 19. R is equal to 25. Also recall that from equation 3 earlier, that Rickon K is 14 years younger than Rob. So Rickon is equal to R minus 14. So K is equal to 25 minus 14. K is equal to 11. Right. So now we have all of Ned's sons' ages. We have Rob to be 25. Bran is 19. And Rickon is 11. Therefore, let N is equal to R plus B plus K, and N is equal to Rob is 25, Bran is 19, and Rickon is 11. So Ned is 55 years old. N minus 10 is equal to 3 times Rob minus 10. Right? So N minus 10, which is 55 minus 10, is equal to 3 into Rob's current age, 25 minus 10. So 55 minus 10 is 45, is equal to 3 into 15, 45 is equal to 45. Thank you very much for coming to class today. It's always a pleasure to have you around. Thank you. Bye-bye.